Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dawn, giving them all dressed like $1 million bucks, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey, Steve Harvey, why don't you join in? Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Harvey turn them on to the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. Y'all listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Man, got a radio show. Wow, man, how good has God been to me? You know, today, let me get right to it because I'm kind of feeling this today, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a few of you who go through the same things. Today was just a little tough morning for me because I didn't want to leave home yesterday. I wanted to stay home a little. I had just gotten home. I got to go again, and sometimes, just the weight of all that you have to do just gets on you sometimes. And sometimes you don't feel like doing it today. Huh? I'm just talking to those who feel this way every now and then. And I'm assuming that would be everybody because I don't know nobody who can just plow through this thing without having those days. Well, what do you do when it gets hard to stay up? What do you do when it gets hard to be positive? What do you do when it seems like things aren't happening for you fast enough or in the time frame that you thought it was going? What do you do? And the reason that I guess I chose to speak about this morning is because I'm having one of those days, because I had one of those days yesterday. It was just a tough day. I really can't explain it. It's nothing really in particular bad happened. It's just I think the weight of all that's going on started to feel heavy to me. And so what do you do when you have days like that, when it's hard to be positive, when it's hard to stay up? Okay, here's what I had to start doing this morning. Now, I haven't completed it. Can I just be real with you? I haven't completed it, but I am processing it out because I know what to do. Been there, done that. I done had that pain before I know what to do. If I sprain my finger, I know what to do now. The first sprain I had, oh, Lord, I thought it was broke. I thought I was going to be handicapped. But now if I sprain my finger, I know what to do. So since I've been in this position, in this hole so many times before, and God has always gotten me through it, I decided I've got to start the process today. Here are some things. Now I'm going to get to the big one last. And one of the things I do is I remember the plan. Sit down and I consciously think about the goals I've set. I go over them. See, I've got mine down on the iPad, so I can pull them out anywhere I am and pull them up. And I've got 2 lists that I've made. I've got a list of things that I know I can accomplish if I just keep working hard. And if a couple of things just fall into place that I can see, then I got a list of things that I'm planning on accomplishing. And then I have a second list. And the heading of this list is called Only God Can Help Me Now. And on this list is things that I'm aspiring for or things that I'm hoping to, that in order for them to happen, I absolutely have to have God's help. That's my favorite list. It's the list that I have of the things that I don't see no way it can happen. I'm just operating on faith and the hope that God hear me. And so sometimes, man, when I have this list of what only God can help me now, that list is stuff that I cannot see. I'm just operating on faith that God is so much bigger than me, that he's so much more capable than I am, that I can actually acquire some things in my life, as he's proven to me time and time again up to this point, that he's willing to do for me if I'm willing to just give him some of my life. That's the only way I can explain my existence today. You know, I began the conversation with my wife. How do I write a book that becomes so wildly successful? That would be God. That's only God. Because if you can plan to sit down and write a wildly successful book, I'd have been done sat down and did it. And so would you. So that would be God. How it got purchased to become a movie when that was not my intent when I wrote the book at all. Again, that would be God right there. It has to be, because if I can't explain it and it is by no doing of my own, then who did it? So when I get down in days like this, I remember the goal. I remember the plan. I remember the journey. I think about of all the things God has brought me through. How did I even get to this point? Yeah, I might be having a little bummer of a day. Yeah, I was a little down yesterday. Yeah, my biorhythms is off, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, I'm just having one of those days. I feel a little bit heavy. I need a vacation real bad. I need some time off to just go and regenerate. But right now, man, I ain't got that. So guess what I do? I got to start remembering the plan. I got to start remembering the goals. I got to start thinking about all the things that God has done for me and how he's brought me this far and the blessings that I have instead of what I don't have. And that's what I'm in the process of doing this morning. And on the commercial breaks, I'm going to pull out my iPad and I'm going to go over my to list and I'm going to read my little list of what I think I can accomplish. And I'm going to really read that Only God Can Help Me Now list, because that's the list that's big. That's the part where I've been telling y'all. I said, quit telling God how big your problems are and start telling your problems how big your God is. See, and that's what I got to sit down and do this morning. And then sometimes, man, you got to stay still. That's the other part. You got to stay still. You got to quit moving for a second, because sometimes it feels like you're running on a treadmill. And you really ain't. You're going somewhere, but it feel like you're running on a treadmill. Well, when you get that feeling, sometimes you got to stay still. And then when you stay still, sometimes you got to fight to stay positive. Sometimes you got to fight not to let the devil win. You're in a fight. Remember, I told you this now. You're in a fight now. So he trying to get you to get on that positive train so he can get you off the faith train. So God's delivery package that's coming to you built on your faith, that he can shake your faith and get you to thinking negative, and then he wins, see. So when you start feeling negative, just know that that's the other force trying to throw you off track. And when you get through with all that, here's the key, the big one. You want me to tell it to you? You got to pray, man. You got to pray. You got to take it to God. You got to say, hey, God, look, I'm having one of these days. I need your help. I got business to take care of. You got blessings in front of me. You got stuff you done shipped to me. You got blessings and packages that's on the way. I need to be sitting on Faith Street so I can receive the delivery when it get there. What I don't want to do is be on Doubted Way or lack of understanding Parkway or Pity Parkway or some street like that, and the package keep going by. I need to be standing and sitting on Faith Street, so when you drop that package down to me, I can go on and get it. You feel me? You got to pray. You got to stay still. You got to fight to stay positive. You got to remember the plan. You got to go over the goals. Come on, man. God done brought you too far. Come on, pick yourself up today. I'm talking to Steve Harvey this morning. Hope y'all didn't mind.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me have your attention. I am talking to everyone today who has ever had the aspiration of becoming a millionaire, or if you've ever had the aspiration of holding a full-time job. These are the two groups that I'm talking to. Anyone who has had the aspiration of holding a full-time job, and anybody who has had the aspiration of becoming a millionaire. This show is dedicated to the two coldest groups on planet Earth. You dig? Welcome to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. What group you in, Shirley Strawberry?
I'm in both, Steve.
Thank you very much, Carla Ferrell.
Good morning.
I'm in both too. Ditto. Let's get it. Ditto.
Junior.
I got 5 jobs. Tell me I ain't trying.
Nephew Tommy.
Every day I'm hustling. I'm trying to be in there. Yes, sir.
Well.
Which group are you in?
Yeah,
I was gonna
which
ask.
one you in?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all ain't in. I ain't in this survey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got the meal plus.
I got somewhere else I'm heading. Ain't nobody asked me that, so we just
Well, where are you
throwing
headed?
it out. Yeah, that's my two favorite groups of people. Anybody that wants to work and anybody want to be rich. I love both them people. Because you ain't got to be rich to be my friend, because I got to tell you something. None of my friends are rich. Do you know that? Really, man. None of my, I got one
Your
friend.
friends? Really?
I mean, my
What does that mean? You have a lot
friends.
of friends. Uh-huh.
I mean, my real friends.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Real friends. 99.9% of them are not rich people. Yeah.
But what about running in those circles? You know, the like-minded people and birds of a feather flock
are
together and all
associates,
that. Yeah.
That's all. They just business acquaintances and associates. We make some money together. We do some deals together. We go to dinner together. You know, we pull for each
Y'all
other.
cool.
But we haven't been through enough to call them friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Remember back in the day when Oprah and Gail, their friendship was, so popular and everything. It still is now, but back in the day, Gail was Oprah's friend, so Oprah gave her $1 million so she could be a millionaire too. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't feel that way towards none of my friends.
You ain't never felt that like that about us or nothing like that?
No. Well, Junior, me and you, we co-workers, and I'm more like a mentor.
You are.
You can't borrow money from me and call me Steve.
That'd never be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ain't peers.
No, it never will be. No.
Okay. Well, what have we learned right here?
We ain't rich and he is.
Yeah.
That's all.
He's not Oprah and we're not Gail.
Excuse me.
What?
Thomas Miles is rich.
I'm Nephew Tommy.
Wow. I don't never know what he is.
I know.
All right, Steve, coming up at 32 after the hour, you mentioned the nephew. Well, he's been, wanting to ask you something, so we're going to get to ask
cool.
Steve right after this.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so Steve, earlier this week we were talking about parenting and our kids and everything, and we didn't get around to the nephew. He's been wanting to ask you this question about parenting all week. Nephew, you have the floor.
All right. So my little girl, Sydney, she turned 15. We throw her a big dinner. And she got a lot of kids there. I mean, a lot of teenagers from Jack and Jill. And, it's fine. We got about 20, 30 kids at a table. And then at our table, it's more the adults. But I'm starting to see these little boys hugging my daughter and taking pictures with her. I ain't never seen this before.
You're going to have to hit one of them in the face
So
in front of the
this
other
is
ones.
like, I don't know how
No,
to.
wait, hold up. Listen to me. You're gonna no, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all ladies. Stay out there. You're going to have to hit one of them little punk-ass boys in the face in front of the other boys, but don't let nobody see it but the boys. All right, now go ahead. Now let's do the radio answer. Go ahead and ask your question.
How do I handle this as a father? And I don't want to be too hard on it, but I don't want it to be too soft on it at the same time.
Hey, man, respect my house. I know my daughter's beautiful. I know you probably attracted to her, but this is my house. I want you to be respectful of my house. Now, in essence, while they living in your house, you have some say-so. So you can pull the boy to the side and say, you know what, man, let me explain something to you. I tell you what, this how it's going. I'll tell you like I did one of mine. I said, this is what happened.
This the radio. This the
Careful.
radio version. I'm trying to edit it.
I know you, Steve Harvey. Careful.
Let me I'm going through some things right now. So,
With your method
you know, this ain't that method. I'm really trying to be this new person God made me on this boat this year. But the old me keeps creeping back around.
What they say, Steve?
Dog, he talk all the time. I wish he'd go somewhere and shut the hell up.
Okay, so come on, your nephew needs help.
You know, Tommy, man, it's hard because in your house, you can set rules and parameters.
Right.
And so just pull the young dude over to the side and just say, listen, man, I got rules in my house and you have to be respectful of my house. You don't come in my house handling my daughter. You can say that because it's your house. And then, hey, man, don't be over there hugging nobody when you in Mr. Miles' house. And that's a good message to have out. Because after that, dog, it's out your hands. Now, what they do outside the house is not because you're not letting them do it in the house. That's what people have a misconception of. They think that in parenting, if you don't allow them to do it in the house when they get out the house, if you don't let them do it in the house when they get out the house, they're going to do it. No, they're going to do it any damn way.
Right.
You know, you got people talking about, I let my kids drink and smoke weed in the house. That way they ain't out in the streets drinking and smoking. Yes, they are. If they drinking and smoking weed in your house, they drinking and smoking weed out in the street.
Right.
You'll be a fool to allow it to happen in your house. You got to have some type of rules, man, to give them pause for thought when they go out the house. Just pause for thought. You're not going to stop them. So,
Okay.
And your daughter is beautiful and she's smart.
Thank you.
And she's very smart.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's very smart. So you have to trust her, and I agree with Steve. You have to,
I think
tell
she
the
will
boys.
make smart decisions.
Yes,
I want to believe that. I do.
yeah.
So glad she got lemonade sense.
Shut up, boy.
So glad.
She got a mama sense.
Yeah, well, we hope they all make smart decisions.
I know. Stop.
How about them Cowboys?
Keep her in prayer.
Learn how to bank left.
Yeah. We all have
So what
kids
else?
the same
Anybody
age.
else got to ask Steve a question?
Let's see. Oh, okay. So you said, I want to get back to, you said you don't have any, I just found it odd that you said earlier you don't have any friends that are millionaires. Why is that, Steve? Because it seems like to me, because you're one, you would hang around people that are like you.
Well, you hang around people, but that doesn't mean you form friendships. You know what I mean? Friendship to me,
That's delicate.
it's a process to become my friend.
Absolutely.
You know,
You have to earn it. Yeah.
yeah. I got to have been down in the ditch and you climbed down in there with me.
Right.
Now we friends. See, man, I think that if I get in a situation, I feel in my heart of hearts, I could call you without you judging me. You would just help me. Then we'll talk about how to prevent a mistake from happening again. Now, I should say this, though. I have a couple of brothers.
Friends, though.
I have a couple of brothers that I'm really, really close to, that I have been in the trenches with, and they do have, way more money than I got. You don't know them. They not famous. They business people. They live out the country. So I would have to put them two in the group.
Okay.
Now, Said the Entertainer is my friend.
Yeah.
He is my friend. That dude right there, he go to blows for me. You know. Now I have great relationships with some famous people. I think me and Kevin Hart have a special relationship.
Oh yeah.
It's like a mentoring type. Even with his star power being much bigger than mine, and his earning potential much bigger than mine, I still am held up in his eyes as a mentor to him. And I really appreciate his humbleness in saying that to me and talking to me when things, come up that are questionable.
Yeah.
And he know I'm going to give him a real answer.
Yeah, and speaking of Kevin, prayers still going out for him. He's out of the hospital and everything, and just in rehab.
Therapy.
Yeah, therapy.
Kevin fine.
Physical therapy.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Yep. He is. All right.
One of the things that helped was he was in great shape.
That is the
really,
main
really
thing.
helped
Yeah.
him.
Physical. And shape,
But let me
right.
tell you something. He's also covered by a lot of grace, because you look at that car,
I saw
and
that.
for them
See
three
how they
people to
made
walk
it.
out
Oh,
of
my
there,
God.
that was nothing but the Lord.
Amen.
You talk to me about something else. That wasn't nothing but God. That's grace.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, coming up next, it is the nephew with Run That Prank Back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour in entertainment news, a judge won't give the money back to the woman who helped bail out R. Kelly. And the very first Whitney Houston hologram tour dates are announced. But right now, Nephew Tommy is here.
Whose tour dates?
Whitney Houston.
That's really big now. Overseas is huge. Now,
All right.
black people not going down there.
That's what I was about
Thank
to say.
you.
I just want to throw
I
that
can't
out.
see us in there.
Right now, Nephew in the building with today's Run That Prank Back. What you got for us, Neff?
Your wife is cheating
What?
on both of us.
Oh, my.
Huh?
She got some nerve.
She got some nerves now. We're not finna let her do this here.
Oh, wow.
Your wife sitting here cheating on both of us now?
So you and the husband are friends now, y'all boys?
I got to tell you. I wasn't going to say nothing, but I got to tell you. She cheating on both of us.
Okay.
Let's run it. Let's go.
Wow.
Come on, Cat.
Hello?
I'm trying to reach Terrence, please.
Who's calling? Who's this?
Hey, my name is Mark. How you doing, brother? I work with your wife, Veronica. We on the same sales floor together. I think I met you before, but I don't know if you remember meeting me. But I work at the job with Veronica.
Is everything all right there, or what's going on?
No. Everything's straight here at the job. No, not a problem at all at the job. But I wanted to.
Is she all right, or is everything all right?
Oh, yeah. She's all right. She's perfectly fine, man. I actually, like I said, my name is Mark, man. You don't remember me, Terrence, but I just wanted to talk to you. Like I say, I got some things on that's been bothering me for a minute, and I just kind of wanted to reach out to you, and just kind of have like a little heart-to-heart talk with you, man. So maybe we can get things in a better position. But I just wanted me and you to have a conversation.
Wait a minute. How'd you get did Veronica give you my number, or how did you get my number? That's what I'm trying to. Like, what's going on?
I've had your number. I just hadn't never reached out to you before. But like I say though, man, this has been bothering me for a minute, and I wanted to get it off my chest so you and I can try to, I guess, fix this whole issue. But I just want us to see if we can fix it.
Well, fix the issue. What's the issue? I don't understand. I'm not following you. I don't understand. What is the issue?
So, but now like I said, I went on and got the nerve up to give you.
Spit it out, brother. Spit it out. Talk to me. What's going on?
Okay. Your wife, man, is cheating on both of us. And we got to figure out we got to do something about this, man.
Did you say she's eating on both of us? What did you say? I didn't
She is cheating. She is cheating on the both of us, bruh.
Wait a minute. It sounded like you said cheating. I don't know what you...
Veronica is... Listen to me, Terrence. Veronica is cheating on both of us.
You saying Veronica's cheating on me?
And me, and we got to figure out what we gonna do, man. But as a husband, I'm gonna need you to step up and get this thing in order.
What you talking about? You saying Veronica is cheating on me with you?
No, she cheating on both of us with somebody else.
What you mean?
I've been noticing her going out with this, going to lunch with this other cat. So I got pissed off about it. So I said, you know what? I can't take it no more. I'm calling Terrence.
Wait, you saying to me that my wife has been cheating around the job with somebody else?
She cheating on both of us, dude.
I don't get what you mean. If my wife is cheating on me and you calling me to tell me that she's cheating on me, I appreciate that. But I don't get what you're saying she's cheating on both of us. I don't get that part. I don't understand what you mean.
Well, me and Veronica been, kind of cool, last 8 months to a year. We've been, pretty tight here at the job. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, what you mean y'all been cool? That's what I don't understand. Like, what do you mean y'all been cool? Because that's my wife. Tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, all I'm saying is me and her been real cool. We've been real tight, Sometimes we take lunch and then, don't come back. That's our thing, though. But, now, I'm noticing, she done went out, she done went to lunch a couple times with this brother named Alan. And I'm like, okay, no, it ain't finna go down like this here. You know what I'm saying?
Are you my wife, man?
Hey, that's not why I called you. I called you to
my wife? That's what I want to know.
I'm telling you about this dude named Alan. I need you to step up as the husband and fix this.
But you telling me that my wife is cheating on both of us. There ain't no cheating on both of us. If she's cheating, she's cheating on me. You telling me that you're with my wife too? That you've been messing around with my wife?
That's not
what you're saying, brother.
That's not the part I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to talk about this dude named Alan, man. That's what I'm trying to get out.
No, we're gonna get to Alan. We're gonna get to Alan. You saying that my wife, man, it's some crazy shit. Yo, you know what, man? I'm about to put my foot right up your because I don't play those games. She's with her, she's with me. We messing around, we doing this and doing that. It don't work like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Dude, I hear what you're saying, but the beef ain't with me. The beef is with Alan.
The beef is with you.
No, she messing over both of us with Alan, dog.
I'm about to call her on three-way because there's some right here. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, hold on, bro. I just want you to deal with Alan.
Are you at the job right now?
I'm at the job, yeah.
I'm about to come put my foot all in your. You understand me?
No, I hear you, man. Alan is the one that then blew this thing out of proportion, dog. She messing over me and you with this here.
There ain't no me and you. I don't share. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
You don't hear me. You don't hear me. I don't share. There ain't no sharing that goes on over here.
Okay.
Do you follow me?
I do. I'm just saying,
What are you saying? Meet me right now. Meet me right now. I'm about to come up there where you at right now. Where you at?
I'm at the job where Ronnie at. I call her Ronnie. I'm at the job where Ronnie at. I call her Ronnie. I call Veronica Ronnie. I mean, that's my little nickname to her.
I'm on my way up there.
Well, hold on, Ronnie.
Ain't
Ronnie.
No hold on.
Hold on, she right here.
She's right where?
She right here. Right here.
Put her on the phone.
You want to?
Put her on the phone.
Huh?
Put her on the phone.
Okay, cool, man. Here, cool. But can I tell you what she's saying?
I don't want to hear what she's saying. I want her on the phone right now.
Okay, but can I tell you what she's telling me to tell you?
She ain't telling you to tell me a damn thing. Because the only thing that you gonna be getting is my foot up your.
Okay, but Ronnie want me to tell you this, man. Just listen to me, Terrence. She wants me to tell you that this is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your wife, Veronica.
You know what? I don't play this. I'm gonna all y'all up here, man. I'm gonna all y'all up. I'm gonna give you an old school whooping. Y'all ain't even right for this.
You all right, man?
Sweating. No, I'm not all right. I'm in the car. I'm sweating. I was on my way over there. I'm about to go to jail messing around with y'all.
Hey, let me ask you this, man. What is the baddest, and I mean the baddest, radio show in the land?
You already know. the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Nothing. Look, coming up at the top of the hour. Thank you, nephew. Coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment and national news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, everybody can make this note to themselves. Doing business with a criminal suspect isn't always the best way to go, okay? Just make that note to yourselves, okay? Valencia Love we were wondering who put up the money to bail R. Kelly out of jail. Well, her name is Valencia Love. She put up the $100,000 needed to get R. Kelly out on bond back in February when he was arrested on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. She also paid his $50,000 in back child support when he was jailed in March for missing payments to his ex-wife.
Can I ask you a question before you go any further with this story?
What?
This is not a joke. I'm asking a question. Okay. Is it true that she owns a daycare?
I heard she owned a restaurant, Steve.
Restaurant.
Okay.
I didn't hear she owned a daycare.
No,
I was just trying to think.
That was a serious question.
Yeah.
Because the answer had been yes, then I was going to ask for a special allotment to say a few things.
She owns a restaurant.
Okay, cool. I was just asking because then if it was true, then it would turn from a question to I would have several statements.
Not even the story. It's him.
Is it a teenage restaurant?
It's not even the story.
Okay.
It's just him.
It's a restaurant.
Okay. I just wanted to know. No, seriously. Somebody told me that in a very serious tone. And so I was just asking, was that true?
News alert, she does own a daycare. News alert.
Really? I didn't hear that. I heard she owned a
You're right, Mr.
restaurant.
Harvey.
Me too.
I heard restaurant.
Well, they
Tommy,
serving the food in the daycare.
Tommy, where did you hear
I
this at?
cannot.
All right, here it is, Here it is. Once it was revealed a woman helped free R. Kelly, Twitter began to track her down and found out she was a 47-year-old and an owner of a couple of businesses in Chicago area. One daycare center, the other a restaurant. So she owns both of them, actually.
Both.
And that's according to...
Now after finding that out and thinking it through a little bit more, I will reserve my comments. This could be ugly.
They next door to each other?
Jeez. In a 4-page motion, Steve, Valencia Love claims that she knew R. Kelly personally and that he promised to pay her money back. At the time, she said she didn't know about other investigations. Unfortunately, Illinois Judge Lawrence Flood said no to Valencia Love's request because she has no legal basis to get her money back. Meanwhile, R. Kelly is in jail again, this time for federal crime.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Whoa. He's in jail again?
He in Gen Pop.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. When? How long you been in jail?
Oh, some months.
Yeah, it's been a couple months.
You was on the boat when they picked him up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Junior.
Yeah.
Junior,
You were
that's
out of the country.
Junior. Your ass is on the boat.
Junior, that's ignorant. That's some ignorant mess you just said. You was on the boat when they picked him up. Boy, that's ignorant.
Y'all, we have to say congratulations. This is a big story from our home station, Mix 92.3 in Detroit. We have to say congratulations to the Detroit Youth Choir. They were a finalist last night on America's Got Talent.
Well, y'all better go D-Town.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yes. Detroit, we are so proud of you. They didn't win. Cody Lee, the blind autistic singer, you guys.
Woo, he can sing,
he
baby.
Won.
He can sing.
Yes, he won the $1 million. But Detroit Youth Choir, they were right there in second place, and they represent. Yeah.
All right, switching gears now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Okay, thank you very much, and good morning. And yes, congratulations, Detroit. This is Ann Tripp with the news. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is accusing Iran of making what he describes as an act of war by attacking Saudi Arabia's oil infrastructure. A few days ago, rebels in Yemen have claimed responsibility for it, though. But Pompeo is dismissing that one because he says the Houthis just don't have that kind of capability.
The equipment used is unknown to be in the arsenal.
Meanwhile, President Trump is appointing Robert O'Brien to be his next national security advisor, and this will be the fourth man appointed to the position by Trump in only 3 years. Before him, there were Generals Michael Flynn, H.R. McMaster, and John Bolton, most recently, whom he said he fired, but John Bolton said, no, I quit. Robert O'Brien has been serving as America's point man, by the way, on hostage affairs. Also, President Trump was in California yesterday, where he announced that he is revoking that state's long-standing authority to regulate its own emission standards for cars and trucks. California was granted the authority to do that, to regulate its own emissions, because of the unhealthy air that was actually kind of famous or infamous to be found in Los Angeles and some other cities, all the smog and stuff, and that's why they got the right in the first place. But the Trump administration insists that relaxed standards will result in less expensive and safer cars. But California Governor Gavin Newsom says the White House is really trying to only please one constituency, the oil industry. They don't care. He doesn't care about the economy, he says, or consumers or health or anything like that. As a result of an investigation conducted by New Jersey's Attorney General and the Division of Civil Rights, a white wrestling coach named Alan Maloney, who had an assistant cut an African-American kid's dreads off before he would let the young man compete. Well, Alan Maloney's now been suspended himself from refereeing any matches for the next 2 years. By the way, a black wrestling coach says the same guy, Maloney, poked him in the chest 3 years ago and called him the N-word when they had a disagreement. The black coach, Preston Hamilton, responded by slamming Maloney to the floor. Troops are being deployed in Bermuda this morning to help with the preparations needed in advance of the arrival of Hurricane Humberto. The Category 3 storm is expected just north of Bermuda this morning. It may be kind of there right now. Any shift, though, could put it right on top of the island. So we have to see how the winds are going, because it can go from really bad to worse. Schools are closed in Bermuda, so are the government offices, and there's no ferry or bus service. And a lot of folks tried to get out yesterday and the day before. GM factories remain idle for a fourth day today, with some 49,000 UAW workers still walking picket lines. The union wants a bigger share of the car makers' profits and better working conditions. GM is said to want to bring labor costs down so that they're closer to auto plants run in foreign countries. Finally, today is National Cheeseburger Day.
Beef, it's what's for dinner.
If you like burgers, now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so people are saying with all of these NFL quarterback injuries, the Jets, the Saints, the Steelers, and now possibly Cam Newton may not start on Sunday due to a foot or an ankle injury, foot and an ankle injury. Colin Kaepernick's agent said Colin is literally in the best shape of his life.
Bet he is.
He's been working out 5 days a week, at 5 a.m. for 3 years. He wants to play. His agent also has been contacting teams in need of a quarterback. So what do you think, Steve?
I think it would be great for the league.
Mm-hmm.
Please give
The
it a shot.
problem that I'm having right now, though, is this settlement that he signed with the NFL. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned that it has some stipulations in it.
Oh.
Now,
You mean to play?
see, listen. Okay. First of all, you all do understand this, that the NFL is a group of owners. Mm-hmm. The group of owners hires Roger Goodell. Mm-hmm. You do understand this. Uh-huh. They hired the commissioner because the commissioner is to represent the shield of the NFL. Now, he's a pretty well-liked owner amongst a lot of players and amongst the owners. He's a very popular guy amongst them. Crowds boo him, but the players consider him to be a fair judge of character. I don't know what the deal was that Colin signed, the settlement money that they had to pay him for keeping him out of the league. So I don't know if his agent is being forthright with that, because you would think his phone would ring at this particular time.
Yeah, they really need him.
Yeah.
Would you have signed that knowing you can't play? Would you have taken that money? Okay.
Yeah.
It must have been a lot of money.
Because you might not play.
Yeah. Hello, and see, this money guaranteed.
That's ringing true.
It's hard to get guaranteed money in the NFL. Most players don't get guaranteed money.
Don't.
If you get hurt and you don't make the team, you out of money.
Wow.
I don't give a damn if you sign a 4-year contract without guarantees and you get cut the second year, they don't pay you.
But it's not like that in baseball and basketball, huh?
Oh no,
no.
all that.
Not basketball.
No, baseball getting all
the
that.
major problem, and football is number one spectator sport for television and everything. But the problem is they have a 16-game season. It's 86 games in the NBA, 168 or 80-some games in baseball. I don't know the exact number.
162.
Yeah, baseball
162.
goes from like
You understand?
March.
86
your body can't
to
do all that
162, 16. And the money's not there.
Okay.
But them owners, though, they clock it.
Yeah, they're getting money.
That TV contract, them endorsements. I think Colin should play. I would love to see him back.
That would be great. All right, coming up next at 34 after the hour, guys. Beyonce says that visiting countries in Africa, Steve, is always a very emotional experience for her. We'll talk about that right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
On Monday, ABC released Beyonce's documentary called Making the Gift, which gave fans a behind-the-scenes look at the making of her Lion King-inspired album. It's her self-described love letter to Africa. In the hour-long special, Beyonce shared intimate, never-before-seen moments with her family as cameras followed her and her husband and their children and her mom on a trip to Africa. Steve, Beyonce says visiting countries in Africa is always an emotional experience for me. Feels like I'm making peace with a part of me that's yearning for my ancestral connection. Your thoughts on that, Steve?
Wow, I think she's absolutely right. That is probably the perfect way to describe it. And that's why I think it's imperative. It's if I know people are gonna go, man, it's a long way. Them tickets, listen to me. Every African American should go back to their homeland. It is beyond emotional. It is beyond emotional. It's a magnetic pull. It's where we're all from. See, America's our home. I was born here. I was raised here. My family is here. My friends are here. Things I love. I was cut and made in Cleveland. America's my home. Make no mistake about that. But Africa is my homeland. When you step off the plane in Africa, you feel a very, very strong sense of belonging. Let me tell you something else I've discovered.
What's that, Steve?
I agree with that.
I'm gonna tell you something deep because I really had to come to terms with this the other day because I was really searching my soul, man, to really find out the way to describe how I was feeling because I couldn't put a grip on it, and I discovered this. America is my home.
Yeah.
Africa is my homeland. America has my heart.
Okay.
Africa has my soul.
Wow.
That is the best way. And I had to write it down because I was just happened on, let me tell you the date, the 17th. On my morning meditation on Tuesday morning, the 17th at 6:30 a.m., I wrote this in my journal because I was just wrestling with how I felt about Africa and America. And America is my home. I was born here.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
There was opportunities here that I was able to take advantage of. There's been a lot of strife that hit me, but I dealt with it. My family's here. My brothers and sisters is here. My mom and daddy buried here. My family here. My friends is here. America, my home.
Yeah, no matter
but Africa is my homeland. It's a piece of me. When I was in that slave dungeon and I fell and couldn't get up, and I told y'all what happened to me, one of my ancestors was in that room, and he was on me. And when I put my hand on the wall, I felt pressure on me. And what made me know it was real, my oldest son, Broderick Jr., was with me. He was facing that same wall, heaving uncontrollably. He couldn't even turn around. That's when I knew that I had made this boy, and somebody that was in that male dungeon had made one of us. Because there's nothing beyond my father. In my Ancestry.com, everybody there's nothing past my father. Now, America has my heart because of my mom and daddy and my brothers and my sisters and my friends and my career and family.
And your what?
Your nephew. Keep going.
But Africa has my soul.
He didn't even mention.
Africa will make you feel something in your soul that you've never felt here. I promise you that. That's why every African American should make it a vow to make a what's the word?
Pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage to the motherland. It will change your life forever. That's my speech.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Well said.
Read more about Beyonce's story on SteveHarveyFM.com. Now, coming up next, Nephew in the building with today's prank phone call. That's right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. The subject, should I love him or leave him, is the subject, okay? Right now,
Rick
Nephew
James.
in the building with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff? Are you all right?
Arlie. I started laughing. I couldn't finish it.
Because you thought about Frank.
I thought about Frank Hollum, bro.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
That was
Yeah,
my
I
boy.
did too.
Oh, my God.
What is that? Rick James, Fine Desire.
Yeah. Rick and Tina, baby, all day.
When he had that towel around his neck, that around his throat.
Love them or leave them.
All
That's
right,
what I used to do. Use and abuse them. Then I laid eyes on you.
Sing it.
What was the girl name, Junior?
I can't remember that girl name, and she was good, man. But
Let's sing with
but
Frank,
you couldn't
not
beat
Rick.
Frank interest, though, boy.
That girl we discovered on the radio.
Yeah.
yeah.
She
Oh,
could blow.
yeah.
Sang.
Yeah, man.
Lolita.
Lolita.
That's it, Lolita.
That girl could sing.
Shout out to
good.
Lolita with her singing self.
Boy.
Hey, I got K-Dog for y'all. K-Dog is the prank call. K-Dog just got out of jail and looking for a few things that's owed to him. K-Dog.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm trying to reach Terrence.
Yeah, this is Terrence. Who's this?
This K-Dog. Hey, is Brandon your brother?
Brandon, yeah, that's my brother. He locked up. Why? What's up?
Okay, yeah, cool. Hey, look, I just got out. I was actually I was locked up with your brother. We was on the same tier together. I was that was kind of like my boy right there. I took care of him. He told me that he had been writing you to tell you letting you know I had been taking care of him while we was locked down or whatever. I know he don't get out for another couple of years, but like he told me that when he was writing you that y'all had already got it situated that you was gonna take care of me when I got out. So I just got out last night, and I wanted to come by and pick up the first 10 grand, sometime this week.
Wait. How much did you just say? 10 grand?
Yeah. I mean, he told me he had already wrote you and told you what was up.
No, bro. I ain't talked to my brother in over a year, dude. So ain't no.
Okay, hold on, right here though. Okay, he told he done told me that you got me straight with the first 10 grand when I first get out, and then a couple months later you would hit me with the next 10 grand because it's 20 grand.
Wait. Whoa. That's 20 grand, bro. I got a wife and kids. I got a family to take care of. I ain't got 10 grand to deal with. I got to feed 4 kids and a wife.
Okay, but
10 grand.
okay, so what you? Hold up, hold the up, man. So what you saying? Brandon was lying to me the whole time?
What I'm telling you is this locked up, 80. Man, to say anything to save his. Ain't no 10 grand over here. Ain't no 20 grand over here. You want to get it, Brandon? You need to wait 2 years till you get out and deal with that. You get the 10 grand.
No. It ain't finna fall like that, player. Look here. Here what's fit to go down. Okay? Now I'm coming over there Friday.
Right.
So
you ain't coming over here.
10 grand. The first 10 grand is owed on Friday. Now what the first about what you need to know is this right here. I don't care nothing about going back. My thing is this right here. This paper supposed to be ready. I done took care of your brother all these years while I was up in there keeping people up off of them on the third tip. And now you finna come tell me? You finna come tell me now that I done put in this work that now y'all ain't finna pay up? It ain't finna happen like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I done put in work to provide for my family, me and my wife working. You telling me that you finna come over here Friday to get 10 grand that I ain't even got for that's locked up?
Hey man, look, I'm not finna. First of all this back and forth and like this here, this ain't nothing that I do. You understand? I don't do that. I don't go back and forth. I'm letting you know what it is. It's 10 grand. Be there on Friday. Now, if you need to try to reach out to your brother that's locked in, you need to talk to him. But like this here, I'm coming looking for Terrence, and I'm looking for my 10 grand. That's all that is.
10 grand. I put some Timbs up in your to come over here to my house, to my family, talking about you finna get 10 grand for my no good brother that's locked up. Hold on, cause see, you gonna mess around and take this here. Wait, well, first of all, what did you just say gonna happen when I get over there? What you said? You bring your to my house with my family here. I'm gonna put some Timbs up in your talking about $10,000, and then another 10 in a couple of months. You lost your damn mind. I ain't got no damn 10 grand. I work my off, and you gonna tell me that you want 10 grand, another 10 grand in a few months for taking care of my brother while he locked up. Nobody tell you take care of him. That's a grown man. Let him take care of himself. Me and my family done built this out of so much. I'm done.
Hey, dog, look here. I understand all of that that you saying, but you got to look at on my end. For the last 3.5 years, I've been over here taking care of, and he telling me y'all gonna take care of me. So look here. I don't know what's going on. What I do know is though, this Friday, I'm coming to get 10 grand from Terrence. So you got to fix this right here any way you gonna fix it. So and that's just it right there. Come Friday, I'm in front of your house, dog.
Wait, hold on. K-Dog, you say your name
is?
This
K-Dog, baby, from the third. This K-Dog from the third tier, 3 tiers on the side of my left eye. Done 3 decades,
you
baby.
Probably done whooped everybody in the street and in jail. You probably whooped my too, but I'm gonna tell you something. You bring over here to my house, try to me, my wife, and my kids. It ain't gonna go down like you think it ain't gonna go. I'm gonna give you everything I got, then some. You come over here, you gonna be laying down, bruh.
I'm gonna be what?
You gonna be laying down. You come over here and try to with me and my family and my kids. It ain't gonna happen that way.
Okay, then that's where we at then, baby. Then we just gonna set this up for Friday then, cause it don't make me know. I already told you.
No. We ain't gotta wait till no Friday, K-Dog. We ain't gotta wait till Friday. I'll meet you somewhere.
Okay.
You think you gonna whoop my like you think it's gonna go down? Once I give you everything I got and lay your down, I'm gonna be in there with my brother Brandon, whooping his and putting me in some he done got your in.
Okay, wait, hey, you know, first of all, if you ain't got the 10 grand, you might well go on and bring your now anyway. Get this over with.
Wait, hold on. You know what you need to do?
You owe me
K-Dog. You know what you need to get your out here and get a job like everybody else. I don't care how long you been in it, everybody got a job. I'm busting. You want 10 grand, work for that 10 grand and get your out here and wash cars, cut grass.
Hey man, hey, you know what? You know what? Your brother. One thing about him, he was right about you though. He was right about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you one thing else he told me about your.
What the else did he tell you about me?
He told me to tell you who I really was. This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your sister, Devita, got me to prank phone call you.
Who the is this?
Hey man, this is Nephew Tommy, man, for the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your sister Devita got me to prank phone call you.
Oh, get the boy! Boy, I done lit up a cigarette in the house. I couldn't smoke in the house. Devita, I'm gonna get her.
You all right, man?
Man, I am. Boy, you had me on. I'm like 10 grand. Come on, come to my wife. Oh.
Calm down, man. It's all good, man. I gotta ask you, brother, what is the baddest, and I mean the baddest, radio show in the land?
Man, you know what it is. The Steve Harvey Morning Show. You gonna make me go see my brother now. It's the holidays. I'm gonna have to go see that man in jail, man.
There it is. That's K-Dog right there, y'all. That's K-Dog. Everybody knows somebody getting out. Everybody knows somebody getting out now. You know that.
Thought about my cousin.
Greensboro, North Carolina, the Fool is coming to town. That is this coming Saturday night at the Carolina Theater. Got a few tickets left. Tickets are on sale right now, and it will be those famous 2 words. It's on its way to sold out, so I will see you very soon. Greensboro, North Carolina, Carolina Theater. Tickets on sale right now. The Fool is coming to town.
All right, nephew.
That's it.
Thank you. Coming up next, Strawberry Letter. Subject, should I love him or leave him? We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now.
Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Thank you, nephew. Subject, should I love him or leave him? Dear Steve and Shirley, I met an older guy and I was attracted to him, but played hard to get. He begged me for a first date and I eventually agreed to go out with him. He asked me to pick him up and I didn't think much about it since his house was on the way to the restaurant. When I got to the house, he came out and so did a much older lady. He got in my car and told me that was his mom, and that he lived with her. At this point, I had an opportunity to tell him that I was not interested, but I went out to dinner with him anyway. At dinner, he told me that he's a convicted felon, but that was years ago, and he's got a great job and a new life now. I kept seeing this man and eventually went to his home, well, his mom's house, and saw how filthy his room was. And I also noticed that his mom's yard was unkept, and there was trash lying around the driveway and porch. These were red flags, and I told him he should do better at helping his mom out around the house. Then I invited him to my house to meet my 2 children. I know he talks really hood and street, but I thought he would do better when he met my children. He did not, and my kids asked him why he was talking like a rapper. He kept commenting on how nice I kept my house, and after the visit, his conversations turned to us making a commitment. He suggested moving in with me so we could be closer and he could help me out around the house. I was excited at first because I really liked this man, but then I thought I was being naive and he could just be using me. Although he has some character flaws, could I work on this fixer-upper and be happy? Or should I leave this man at his mama's house? Please advise. Run as far away from this man as you possibly can. I mean, you gotta leave this man alone, please. I mean, when you see red flags, don't ignore them. That's what red flags are for. Okay, let's go through them. He lives with his mom, all right? The yard is nasty. His room is nasty. He has no car. He doesn't know how to be a good role model in front of your children. And if he's got such a nice job and a great job and all this stuff like you see in the letter, why doesn't he save his money and get an apartment? There was no discussion about that in this letter. And, it wasn't until after he saw your place, after he came over there, that he started, kind of pressuring you to move in and to be committed. He said he would help you around the house. Oh, really? You would help her, but he'll help you, but he's not going to help his own mom around the house? He could at least clean up the yard. And what about his room? Come on. I don't get this. I say don't let him in your house in this kind of a way. Don't let him move in, please. This is not how you want to live. You have 2 kids to think about. I think if he was, and you didn't mention, what he was incarcerated for or anything like that. You just said he's out. That was years ago, and he has a great job and a new life now. But it just doesn't look like it or seem like it. Yeah, he could be using you, but I say no. It's too soon to move in. Don't let him do it. Steve?
I'm confused. I really am.
About?
Why is she writing us?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this letter? I don't even know why we talking to her. About who? Who are we talking about? Everything in this letter screams what?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole damn letter. Let's start. I met an older guy. Right there. You was attracted to him, but you played hard to get. Okay, older guy. He begged me for a first date. I agreed to go. He asked me to pick him up. Right there. Let's stop. Let's just go. Let's listen. Just listen. You met an older guy. He asked me to pick him up. I ain't think nothing about it since his house was on the way to the restaurant. When I got to the house, he came out, and so did a much older lady. Let's circle this. Let's just go over what we got so far.
Okay.
Met an older guy. He asked you to pick him up. He come out the house with an old ass lady. He got in my car and told me this was his mom, and he lived with her. Let's circle that. At this point, I had the opportunity to tell him I was not interested, but I went out to dinner with him anyway. For what? Why? Let me circle that. I went out to dinner with him anyway. Then at dinner, he told me he's a convicted felon. Let's circle that.
Twice.
But that was years ago, and he got a good job and got a new life now. I kept seeing this man and eventually went to his house. Well, his mama's house. Okay, let's circle that.
Yeah.
Because now we're back. Well, why you still talking to his ass? After this, I don't know. But you went back to his mama's house. And then this older man you met, you saw how filthy his room was. The last time I had a room, I was 17.
What?
Yeah. That's the last time I took somebody to my room, other than a dormitory in college.
Yeah. All right.
How filthy his room was. Let's stop there.
Hold
We'll
that.
be right back with the rest of this.
At 23 after the hour. Subject of today's Strawberry Letter, should I love him or leave him? We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter
Shirley,
subject.
Shirley, my recap can just be a continuation because as I continue, I'll explain it.
Okay.
I'm going to show you everything that's wrong with this letter. This letter is, should I love him or leave him? Steve and Shirley, I met an older guy. I circled that. I was attracted to him, but I played hard to get. He begged me for a first date. I eventually agreed to go out with him. He asked me to pick him up. I circled that. Everything I circle is screaming, what? I ain't think much about it since his house was on the way to the restaurant. When I got to the house, he came out and so did a much older lady. I circled that. Who is this old ass lady? He got in my car and told me that this was his mom and he lived with her. I circled that. Let's go back. Older guy, you had to pick him up. This old lady stayed there and you found out his mama. At this point, I had an opportunity to tell him I was not interested, but I went out to dinner with him anyway. I circled that. The question I'm begging everybody to ask yourself is, why is you at dinner with this old-ass man to stay at the house with his mama that you done had to pick up? That's all I'm asking. At dinner, he told me he was a convicted felon. This whole letter is going to hell.
Crazy.
But I kept seeing the man. Why? Eventually, I went to his house, his mom's house. So I'll circle that because it took you 2 visits to get it. The first time you pulled up. Next time you went to the damn house and found out it was mama's house because she had all them blue plates leaning up against the wall on the fireplace and had that big wooden and spoon and fork set hanging on the damn wall with that picture of the white Jesus, Martin Luther King, and John F. Kennedy.
You're stupid.
And I noticed that his mom's yard was unkept and it was trash laying around. I circled that. He don't give a damn about his mama. Trash laying around the driveway and the porch. That's where he eat. These were all red flags, and I told him he should do better helping out his mom around the house. You know what Judge Lynn told me one time on the show?
What, Steve?
She said women should stop collecting red flags.
Yep.
Women should stop collecting red flags. Tom, I'm going to let you use that on Ready for Love this year. You have my permission.
Aww.
I like that.
Hey.
I like that.
Women should stop collecting red flags. I told him he should do better helping his mom out around the house. Then I invited him to my house to meet my 2 children. I circled this. Why is he meeting your damn kids?
Exactly.
What redeeming quality has he exhibited where you think it's time for him to meet your damn kids? Now, he talks real hood and street. I circle that. Mm-hmm. He stayed at home with his mama. His mama old. You had to pick him up. He lived with his mama. You went out to dinner anyway. He a convicted felon. You went to his mama's house. His room is filthy. There's trash laying around the driveway and the porch. I invited him to your house to meet the 2 kids, and he talked real hood and street. This whole letter is just going to hell. But I thought he would do better when he met my children. He did not. And your kids asked him, why was he talking like a rapper? You know why? Because your kids know his old ass should be talking better than one of their damn peers. Mm-hmm. Your kids know that, but you don't. So I circled that. He kept commenting on how nice I kept my house. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You just described his mama's house. And after the visit, his conversations turned to us making a commitment. A commitment to what? He suggested moving in with me so he could be closer and he could help out around the house. He don't help out around the house. He don't help out around the house. He don't help out in his filthy ass room. He don't help out with nothing on the porch. He don't help out with nothing with the driveway. Where do he clean up at? So he finna help you where? I was excited at first because I really like this man. What is it you like? You ain't said nothing in the letter you like. Your whole letter is disappointed you on this man. Then you say, I really like him. You like what? You must not. You ain't never had no man before. You ain't never had a good man before. Because if this what you like, I sure would hate to see the one you got rid of. The one you had them 2 kids by. Lady, you need to up your game. I really like this man, but then I thought I was being naive and he could be using me. Okay. Although he has some character flaws. Character flaws? Oh, wait. He old as hell. That ain't a character flaw. He ain't got a car. That ain't a character flaw. He stay with his mama. That ain't a character flaw. He's a convicted felon. That ain't a character flaw. His room is filthy. That ain't a character flaw. It's trash on the driveway and the porch. That ain't a character flaw. He wants to move in with you so he can help out around the house. He a damn lie.
Run. All right, Steve, we got to
Shirley
get out of
said
here.
run.
Run.
For the hills.
Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter on Instagram at SteveHarveyFM.com and check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. Coming up at 46 after the hour, our girl from the talk, Cheryl Underwood, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, it's Carla's reality update. But right now, please introduce that girl from the
Ladies
talk.
and gentlemen, put your hands together and everything else and clap for the one and only Sheryl Underwood.
Thank you, Steve Harvey. Hey, Junior.
What's
hey.
up, Underwood?
Hey, Shirley, Carla, and Tommy.
okay.
Hey, Junior.
We're afterthought.
I know. Yep, you are.
Hey, Shirley, Carla, Tommy.
Yes, right. Hey, Junior. Hey, Junior. Where are you in the country? Because I'm on my way to Hoover, well, really Birmingham, to do the Stardom. So if you are free and you would like to come hang out with me for 2 days, you know, I'll be there Friday and Saturday. I got 2 shows on Friday,
You gonna be at the
2 shows
Stardom?
on Saturday. Yeah, where are you? Where are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be in LA.
Okay. Do you want to go to Birmingham?
Okay, I'll come down.
For real? We hang out together?
Yeah, we hang out.
The hotels are sold out, so you're gonna have to sleep in the same room as me. Get ready. Yes, I'll be shaving and plucking hairs out of my chin. So, get ready. What? Men need to know that after the change. Hey, I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
You know Whitney Houston, Pat Houston, they about to do this hologram tour, but I heard it's only overseas.
Yeah.
How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel
I'm
about
not
the
feeling
hologram?
it, Cheryl. And you know, I love me some Whitney Houston. Love
Me too,
me some
girl.
Whitney
Love
Houston.
Anybody asking me?
Yeah. Well, I remember when Whitney
Yeah,
Houston was
anybody.
on Merv Griffin. She had a short natural.
Uh-huh.
She was on Merv Griffin. She was a thin thing. But Steve, what you think about it? What you think about the hologram?
Black people don't like ghosts.
There it is. There it is. Ray Parker Jr. I ain't afraid of no ghost. There it is, Steve Harvey.
It's going to be hard to carry this show to Detroit. I'm just telling you. It's just, I wish it well. I wish it to be successful. But this probably do real good overseas.
Overseas.
Atlanta at the
everybody.
Fox.
No, not going to happen.
Ain't nobody. Black people don't like to go.
Nope.
Nope.
No, she not.
No. And you can't do everybody, Steve. You can't. Don't do no Luther Vandross hologram. Nobody wants to see that. No, that's hurt our heart. That makes us cry. We don't want to see that, Steve.
But then they're going to have them talking to the audience. How y'all doing? Oh, hell, she is.
Oh, hell no. You're behind me, Satan. I'm not talking no evil spirit.
No. That's my opinion. I wish it well. I hope it do good, but
How much is the tickets?
Well, they're gonna be free over here.
There you go. Shut up.
All right, Cheryl.
If it ain't a real person, ticket need to be free. Bye, Junior. Bye, Junior.
We gotta get out of
see you
here.
at the Stardom. Bye, Junior.
Thank you, Cheryl. Coming up
Bye,
at the top of the hour, it's
saying
Carla's
bye to
reality
Junior, Shirley.
update.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Tommy, it's that time.
Let's go. Let's get it. She is here, Carla Ferrell, with what? Reality update.
All right, thank you, nephew.
Let's
Let's go.
up, Steve. Here we go.
Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. The season 4, the reunion show, part 1.
Girl.
All right, my girl Giselle Bryant, Giselle Bryant, she announced that
Say it, Carla. Say it.
Yes, that she and her ex-husband, Pastor Jamal Bryant, are dating again.
That's
they
good.
Are
All right,
dating. Yes. Isn't that good? Yes.
Where's Jamal, man? Get it together, baby.
Pastor Jamal and Giselle, they were married, she said, I guess about 7 years. Then they got a divorce. They are co-parenting. They have 3 children together,
girls.
3 daughters. Yes, those girls are beautiful. And Giselle said that the two have been seeing each other since last year and that Pastor Jamal was heavily pursuing her. And she went on to say, there's nobody who knows me like that man. And I said, all right, girl. She also forgives him for cheating on her.
Wow,
she says
that's big.
that, yes, she wanted to, they're giving their love a second chance. That's what it seems like.
You know what, man? I mean, that's
Go
not
ahead,
bad.
Steve.
They've had time away from each other. That's not bad. People go, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not true. People change, man.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
People change all the time, and for the better.
Mm-hmm. That's outstanding. Yeah, Giselle said, people, you aren't your mistakes. That's what she said. You are not your mistakes. And she has forgiven him. And so, they have 3 children together and they're dating again. And, one of the castmates, Monique, asked her, well, are you ready to be a first lady? And she's like, whatever the Lord has for me, I am ready. So good for them.
All
good
right.
for Giselle and Pastor
Jamal
Jamal.
has Eddie Long's old church.
Newburgh.
Yeah,
Just
Newburgh.
outside of Atlanta and
Yeah.
Laconia,
I've
Kanye was
heard,
just
man, nothing but really, really good things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read an article, Steve, in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The church is building affordable assisted living.
Oh, they doing it, man.
For senior citizens, medical facility. So they are doing big things for the community in Atlanta. So congratulations, and they just doing God's work down there. So
I know
that's good to
some
see.
people who are close to me who go to the church.
Yes, sir.
And I just think, man, he's doing a heck of a job, man, down there. He really, really is.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
right?
Yeah, Kanye was just there. Yeah, we talked about that earlier this week on the show when Kanye was there as well. All right, back to the reunion show. Did you see Shirley, Candace, and Ashley? They were doing the most.
Woo,
and
girl.
Candace, they got them. Steve, say it for me again, girl.
Child.
Yes, they got them. Yes, child, they got on my nerves. Anyway, Candace's mother, Miss Dorothy, was there and talked about their relationship. I just don't understand what's going on with them, mother and daughter. Anyway, Candace brought receipts there, I should say, to prove that this townhome that her and her husband lived in is actually hers with her mom. Just, a whole bunch of drama with that. And there's a rumor that Ashley and her husband Michael, that they are not coming back to the show. I don't know if that's true.
No!
I don't believe that quite yet. Thank you, Junior. That's what I need. I don't know if that's true. And finally, let me move on. Yeah, before we run out of time, y'all, we have to say congratulations. This is a big story from our home station, Mix 92.3 in Detroit. We have to say congratulations to the Detroit Youth Choir. They were a finalist last night on America's Got Talent.
Well, y'all better go D-Town.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yes. Detroit, we are so proud of you. They didn't win. Cody Lee, the blind autistic singer, you guys.
Woo, he can
yes,
sing,
he
baby.
won.
He can sing.
Yes, he won the $1 million. But Detroit Youth Choir, they were right there in second place, and they represent. Yeah. Yep. So that's Reality Update. Hit me up at Lipspark Carla, and we'll be back at 20 after.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, the chicken sandwich wars are on. First Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A. Now,
another one?
Now, KFC is rolling out a new version of their chicken sandwich, which features a piece of fried chicken. Check this out. Slapped between 2 glazed donuts. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
Sugar and grease together.
Go ahead.
What? What's not to love about that, right?
I'm going to let y'all have that.
Between a donut.
No joke. Fried chicken and donut sandwiches are currently being tested at locations in Norfolk and Richmond, Virginia, as well as in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What do you think, Steve Harvey?
Let me ask you something. Is it bread or are they using the two donuts as the bread?
Yeah, the two donuts are the bread. Uh-huh.
Well,
the buns. Get that sugar.
I'll tell you right now, it might taste good
Uh-huh.
because I've had a glazed donut with some fried chicken. But if you eat that whole sandwich,
what's going to happen, Steve?
What's going to happen?
I strongly suggest that you eat it under the overhang at the emergency room.
Like your boy Boom.
Ride a bike up there and eat your sandwich on the curb in front of emergency.
That's what Boom did, right?
'Cause that's enough cholesterol to bust your heart.
Yeah, that's a lot right there. That's a lot.
And the sugar. If you don't have diabetes, you will.
All right. All right, we'll have more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show coming up and some trending news at 33 after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so Steve, earlier this week we were talking about parenting and our kids and everything, and we didn't get around to the nephew. He's been wanting to ask you this question about parenting all week. Nephew, you have the floor.
All right. So my little girl, Sydney, she turned 15. We throw her a big dinner. And she got a lot of kids there. I mean, a lot of teenagers from Jack and Jill. And, it's fine. We got about 20, 30 kids at a table. And then at our table, it's more the adults. But I'm starting to see these little boys hugging my daughter and taking pictures with her. I ain't never seen this before.
You're going to have to hit one of them in the face in front of the other ones.
So this is like, I don't know how
No,
to...
wait, hold up. Listen to me. No, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all ladies. Stay there. You're going to have to hit one of them little punk-ass boys in the face in front of the other boys, but don't let nobody see it but the boys. All right, now go ahead. Now let's do the radio answer. Go ahead and ask your question.
How do I handle this as a father? And I don't want to be too hard on it, but I don't want it to be too soft on it at the same time.
Hey, man, respect my house. I know my daughter's beautiful. I know you probably attracted to her, but this is my house. I want you to be respectful of my house. Now, in essence, while they living in your house, you have some say-so. Now, I'll tell you like I did one of mine. I said, listen what happened. I'm really trying to be this new person God made me on this boat this year. But the old me keeps creeping back around.
What they say, Steve?
Dog, he talk all the time. I wish he'd go somewhere and shut the hell up.
Okay, so come on, your nephew needs help.
Tommy, man, it's hard because in your house, you can set rules and parameters.
Right.
And so just pull the young dude over to the side and just say, listen, man, I got rules in my house and you have to be respectful of my house. You don't come in my house handling my daughter. You can say that because it's your house. And then, hey, man, don't be over there hugging nobody when you in Mr. Miles' house. And that's a good message to have out. Because after that, dog, it's out your hands. Now, what they do outside the house is not because you're not letting them do it in the house. That's what people have a misconception of. They think that in parenting, if you don't allow them to do it in the house when they get out the house, if you don't let them do it in the house when they get out the house, they're going to do it. No, they're going to do it any damn way.
Right.
You got people talking about, I let my kids drink and smoke weed in the house. That way they ain't out in the streets drinking and smoking. Yes, they are. If they drinking and smoking weed in your house, they drinking and smoking weed out in the street.
Right.
You be a fool to allow it to happen in your house. You got to have some type of rules, man, to give them pause for thought when they go out the house. Just pause for thought. You're not going to stop them.
All right, coming up, our last break of the day and some closing remarks from the very wise and very talented, too, Steve Harvey, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, here we go. Last break of the day. And Steve.
Yeah.
This is a time you get kind of quiet and in your pensive moment because it's almost time for your closing remarks. But it's been a good day, right?
It's been a great day.
Yeah, this good Thursday.
No, it's
Yeah.
Thursday.
It's been a fun day.
It's good. These closing remarks of late, man, I just want to kind of explain it to everybody. What I've decided to do is just share with you some experiences that I've gained. And a lot of it has to do with spirituality. Now, let me just start by saying this. I'm not a very religious person per se. I think I'm really a spiritual person, but religious, it kind of comes with a different connotation. I don't claim to be perfect. It doesn't matter to me what church you go to, what mosque you go to, what synagogue you go to. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my business. And I've chosen to be that way, and I think that God is okay with me being that way because my message is to try to convince or to help people understand that having a relationship with God is really cool. It's the relationship you want with God. Your choice of religion is none of my business. I have a lot of Muslim friends. I know some great Muslim people around the world. I know some great Christian people around the world. I know great Catholics around the world. I know great Jewish people, Protestant, whatever. I know some really, really cool people. And I've just decided that my mission is not to convince you to see it my way. My mission is to try to help you understand that having a relationship with God is critical for you. It's necessary for you. I posted something the other day on my Instagram. It was a picture of a warrior with his head bent. And he was on his knee and he had a sword in his hand and a shield. And on this Instagram post, I posted it. And if you go on my Instagram, you could see it from yesterday. And this man is on his knees with his head bowed, with his sword in his hand and the armor and shield on. And he said, the devil saw me with my head down and thought he'd won until I said amen. So what the painting was saying is, my head ain't down, I'm actually praying. And so after I sent that, I was just reading the comments, which I know better. But the second comment, and the caption under it was prayer works. The second comment under there, or third comment was, no, it don't. And you just go, wow, wait a minute, man. It don't matter what you say. Some people they just dare to counter. But I don't do it for those people anymore. I do it for those people who trying to get it. And if you're trying to get a relationship with God, it's important for you to understand something. You know what? You got to understand something. Let me explain to you what I learned about favor, because my life has a lot of favor on it. But I know a lot of people who got favor on their life. Somebody told me one time, favor ain't fair. Favor is not fair. If favor was fairly given out, if favor was given out fairly, none of us would get it. Uh-oh. Favor ain't fair. Because if favor was given out to the just or the righteous, if that's how favor was passed out, would none of us get it? Favor ain't fair. That's why you can look over somebody's life and you can judge them and say, well, they ain't all this, but they got this. That's because favor ain't fair. But let me show you what favor do. Do you know how much favor God gives to you to show you that favor ain't fair? Watch this here. Have you ever woke up in the morning and didn't thank God for waking you up in the morning? But he woke you up anyway? That was favor. Let me ask you a question, because I hardly ever do this. When I lay down at night, I don't recall asking God to wake me up in the morning. But you know what he did? For 62 years, he done woke me up in the morning. You know what that was? That was some favor. Favor ain't fair, because guess what? I ain't even asked to be awakened. I have left the house without thanking him for waking me up. But he keep waking me up. And he keep laying me down to sleep. And he keep giving me another chance. And he keeps me alive when it seems like I should have been gone. He holds me when I feel so alone. He corrects mistakes that I've made on decisions I've made. He's corrected them for me. You know what that was, y'all? That was favor. Every time you take a breath that you have no control over, can I tell you something? That's favor. That's why you hear old people talk about grace and favor. And old people say, all I want is a little more grace. Because you can't earn grace. You can't earn favor. It's just given. Favor is given to the just. Favor is given to the unjust. Favor is given to the grateful. Favor is given to people that don't ever say thank you. All of us have benefited from his favor. What do you think would happen if you formed a closer relationship with him? Well, tomorrow I'll tell you what'll happen, because it happened to me. I just want to share that with you. Y'all have a great weekend. Talk to God. He'd love to hear from you, okay? That's a good one. I'll talk to y'all.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.